people. Yes. Late night Flex's view, but it's not really a Flex's view. It's the breaking news that happened in the last sort of hour or so with Scott McTominay. It's all been going off this evening. Scott McTominay has agreed terms with Napoli. It's a 30 million euro deal, plus add-ons included, also plus sell-on clause. He has accepted Napoli. Scott McTominay wants to join the Italian side. He wants to be with Antonio Conte and Romelu Lukaku playing Antonio ball. That's what he wants to do. Romano, let's just get into the exact facts. He says Scott McTominay has already accepted Napoli and their project. Details to be discussed about his payoff. Similar to Wan-Bissaka, this is the main part to fix, plus personal terms. So personal terms are not agreed yet. He has accepted Napoli and their project, but personal terms have not been agreed yet. There needs to be a compensation package with Man United and the payout. That's what was holding up the Wan-Bissaka deal to West Ham. Similar kind of thing. The club-to-club agreement is done with Man United for a fee of 30 million euros, plus add-ons included. So that's included of that. So we wanted a little bit more, I'm not going to lie, but in the end, we've kind of just gone for it, really. We've kind of said, look, let's just take that and run. We want to get this Ugarte deal done. We want to get deals moving. And they've gone with that 30 millions, inclusive of add-ons, plus a sell-on clause. And all there is left to do is for Scott to sort out his personal terms. That's the first bit of news I want to talk about tonight. The second bit of news was the staggering nature of Chelsea. We know Juventus are there with Jadon Sancho, but Chelsea, this includes Jadon Sancho. Now, they are willing to look or explore a deal for Jadon Sancho, which is just quite staggering. Either on loan, Man United prefer permanent, and there could be, if this happens, and I'm taking a while to get this out because it's a bit crazy. Conte DiMarzo, Chelsea could include Ben Chilwell, Benjamin Chilwell, and Raheem Sterling in a swap deal offer for Jadon Sancho. He also says Juventus are negotiating a potential loan deal for Jadon Sancho, but the player's salary requirements are a significant obstacle, which we know. Juventus are exploring options to overcome the problem as well. And that was originally kind of broken from Darmish. And it was Darmish who said that Chelsea are understood to be exploring a deal for Jadon Sancho. They are looking at both a permanent and a loan option. A proposal could include a player being offered to go the other way. Talks have taken place between Chelsea and United. So that's the main bits of information there. We'll get to the Sancho bit, Sterling and Ben Chilwell in a second, just to kind of rewind a little bit because quite a lot to unpack there. To rewind a little bit, right? Scott McTominay, I think it's the right thing. We've wanted to sell Scott McTominay, wanted to move in a different direction. We know that Ugarte is coming in, and McTominay would definitely have been told, in my opinion, that he's going to have the same sort of role again. He's got a year left on his contract, I believe, and he's going to be limited to the kind of role that he's been having, which we saw just only yesterday, which is coming off of the bench late in games to try and impact us. Good professionals, I think Eric Ten Hag wouldn't mind him if he was in his squad, but he can't guarantee the minutes. And of course, Man United are open to offers, and those offers have arrived. We know that we've turned down 2 from Fulham. I think we know that Scott McTominay turned down 2 from Fulham. Plus, the valuation wasn't really being met. But in the end, the valuation really, I think they've tried to hold on to the latter stages of the window. We go into the last week tomorrow, on Monday, as the window closes on the Friday, and the deals, the offers haven't really got much higher for Scott McTominay, if we're honest. I mean, we are selling him for too low. I will be honest. I know, look, it's hard because we want to progress, innit? And there's, 5 million here, 2 million there. In the grand scheme of things, it's probably not that deep, but for me, it is a little bit low. I think we should have been able to get Scott out for £40 million personally. Or 35 million pounds minimum. Yeah, 40 million. Emil Smith-Rowe, like I said, 35 million. 25 million for, what's his name? Skip. Oliver Skip, mate. So essentially, Scott McTominay's going for the same price as Oliver Skip because this is 30 million euros, which is probably around about 25, 24, 23-ish million pounds. And I don't think that's high enough. If I had my way, I would probably want higher than that. But having said that, the window is getting on. We are going to have to take a lot of losses on players. And actually, this isn't a loss because obviously Scott leaving would represent 100% profit with the PSR situation because he's a homegrown player. So anything we do get for Scott would be profit. But I still would like us to be getting more. But there's no point arguing over spilt milk. It is what it is. We need to move on, essentially. It's either that or scrimp and scramp over trying to get an extra 5 million out of it or 8 million out of it and it collapsing. So, look, I think this deal will happen. It's a matter of wages now and working out personal terms. Man United need to do that because once again, he's got money left on his contract, time left on his contract to run down. So at the end of the day, that money needs to come from somewhere. And we know how strapped for cash are the Italian sides. So, I think it'll get done. I think it's the right move. It will probably free up money for Ugarte, which that deal looks like we know that's going to happen. That's been there. And again, we're just waiting for the domino to fall. So we'll keep you posted on that one. But that deal looked like it's accelerating very, very fast. He said no to Premier League sides. And it looks as though Scott McTominay is heading to Napoli. Now, the next interesting one, which we knew Chelsea could come knocking. I saw Chelsea won 6-2 today. Crazy. I didn't see the game, but I saw Madueke scored a hat-trick after calling Wolves basically Wolverhampton a shithole. And then just goes and dunks on them. And this is where Chelsea get interesting because, they make mad decisions and we've been cussing them in this summer and it's true, but they do have good players. Individually, they do have good players. And apparently they're looking at trying to tie up a deal for Osimhen and one Jadon Sancho. Now, for me, Jadon Sancho, like I said, is surplus. There's a lot of people who think there's more left in the tank for Jadon. There's a lot of people who think he should be playing. I don't think he's done enough. I'm annoyed that maybe he hasn't done enough in the time that he's been here. He's been given chances before Eric came. He got given chances in Eric's first season. And he could just never get that continuity. Then obviously he was away the first time during around that October time. Eric sent him away. Then he came back into last season, and then we all know what happened after the Arsenal game. And this is where we ended up here. And just overall, it's another player who hasn't fulfilled their potential. There'll be people out there who basically think that Jadon Sancho is the best thing since sliced bread and he should just be getting the whole opportunities just given to him on a plate. But I just think after what happened with Eric, his card was marked. And yes, there's people who are still going to side with Sancho and side with the manager and this, that, and the other. I'm not really interested in all that. I'm just interested in if a player is not going to be part of the plans, which it doesn't look like he is, what's the best way of moving forward so that we can either buy players who are going to be part of the plan or invest into the squad further, should I say, in a different area. But Chelsea, going to Chelsea, I don't know. That screams of a mess to me, personally. What's the plan there? Nkunku on the left, him on the left, Madueke, Mudrik's still there, stinking out the joint. Neto's there now. So look, but that's a Chelsea problem. We did say that. The main thing is that I want the money. But this Ben Chilwell thing, listen, I said live on TalkSport on our show Inside Devils, and I said as well on DR that there is no way that Ben Chilwell comes to Man United. Like, impossible. Impossible. Of course they're offering him to us. And honestly, I will be so disappointed if we sign Ben Chilwell. We cannot do that. The Sterling one, for me, I saw a lot of people saying, no, I'll just take the money. We don't want any of them players. I ain't going to lie. I don't know if it's my Jamaican bias. I always back Sterling. I always rated Sterling. I still think he's got a lot to offer in the right team. Rashford's stinking out the joint. We've got Garnacho on the left. Even though he's been coming on the right sometimes, not yesterday, but yeah. Anthony's stinking out the joint. Is Sterling better than Anthony? Yes. Is Sterling better than Sancho? Well, no, not right now. There's not really a good sample size because Sterling's been playing at Chelsea and hasn't been up to his normal level. But Sancho's been way off it, so it's much of a muchness. Is Sterling better than Rashford? Well, Rashford's stinking out the joint and we want him hooked for Garnacho. Is Sterling better than Garnacho right now? Not right now in terms of form, but obviously as a player, yes. But not right now. I don't know. If Sterling came to us, I wouldn't be angry. I wouldn't be angry. Obviously, the wages would have to come right down. But if it was like a season-long loan and Sancho went the other way just because they couldn't find something, I wouldn't be mad at that. I actually wouldn't. What I would prefer, though, if I'm being honest, what I want to happen, if you gave me a blank canvas and said, write what you want to happen on this or draw what you want to happen, I want to get just money for him. I want to just get whatever it is we're going to charge, preferably the 40 million. I don't know if Chelsea are going to do it. I'd much rather have the 40 million and reinvest that into the squad and say, you know, can we get a left back out of it? Ugarte will get taking care of McTominay, or another wide forward, someone who's more into the plan. I don't think Sterling is part of the plan. Obviously, there's unique opportunities that come about during the window, and I don't think Sterling would have been part of that. That's against the profile of what we're trying to do. But who's to say that Omar Barada and co and Dan Ashworth won't go, well, listen, he's been in a toxic environment at Chelsea. We believe we can get something out of him. Marcus is wobbly. He's experienced player. He's got 4 Premier Leagues, 136 Premier League goals, played nearly 100 times in Champions League, 5 Carabao Cups. What else has he won? You know, he's a highly decorated player. He's not where he was, though. He's not where he was, but I think he could do something as a squad role if worse comes to worse and there had to be loans going for it. But that's not my preference. I'll be honest. That ain't my preference. I don't really want to see either of them really come here. Especially Ben Chilwell, impossible. Can't happen. Sterling, Rashford's been so bad, put it this way. I would argue that Sterling in a new environment with a point to prove would probably be better than Rashford. The way Rashford's playing, that's how I honestly feel. The way Anthony's playing, he's definitely better than him. And then you're really saying, you can't rely on Rashford, you can't rely on Anthony, and then you want to rely on Ahmad and Garnacho. After that, where's the quality? If Jadon Sancho goes, which he looks like he is, obviously for Sterling. So if you add Sterling into that, he could help. He could help the team. But I don't know. His wages are a big problem. We can't be taking on big wages. There's no point getting rid of Jadon Sancho on big, massive wages when we're not, and he's not performing, to get a Raheem Sterling on big, massive wages when you're not sure if he can hit his best form again. It just doesn't fit. So although if it was for a season loan, if the price was right, I could stomach it. I don't really want it to happen, if I'm honest with you. So loads going on. I'm sure Owen will pick this up in the morning. That's your news update. I'm going to be at Sky tomorrow, so I'm sure I'm going to be discussing this there. But Owen will come through with any developments that happen overnight and into the morning and do a bigger show on this, and you guys can get your teeth into it properly. But yeah, that's interesting developments tonight. Interesting developments this window. I do think, because obviously I think Ugarte will come. I think something else will happen. Something's going to happen with Sancho, which will mean we either get money for him and we're going to get someone late, or something mad where Chelsea give us someone. And I just don't want it to be. We've got to stay clear. We don't make them decisions anymore. And I'm going to back Ineos to not make as stupid a decision as to bring Ben Chilwell to the football club. Doesn't make any sense. So yeah, there you have it. Let me know what you're thinking with that, guys. Are you on that? Are you having that? Are you not having that? Is that an absolute no-no? Let me know in the comments. Take care. Peace.